Hello everyone on the internet. Now, this video is only particularly made for the people over at Puzzled Escape Rooms in Cardiff. If you don't work there and you don't know anything about them, then I recommend you just skip the video, as this isn't really going to go over what is Puzzle Escape Rooms Cardiff in depth. There's probably videos out there made by the creators of Puzzle Escape Rooms Cardiff if you want to know. This is mostly just for a job application. So if you are working at Puzzle Escape Rooms Cardiff, I recommend you stay. Now, if you don't work at Puzzle Escape Rooms Cardiff and you're still here, Puzzle Escape Rooms Cardiff is in Taftswell in Cardiff, which is quite north Cardiff. The postcode is up here if you want to go check it out. And they also, if you go on their website, which is puzzleescaperoomscardiff.co.uk, you can go press this, which is the what 3 words, which I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit shocked because I've never seen a business or a company at all in the world that gives not just their phone number, postcode, but they also give a what 3 words, which I think is very unique. But anyway, less with the waffle and more onto the point. So in my experience, I've only done the escape rooms at Puzzled Escape Rooms Cardiff. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really got a lot to compare it with. But thankfully, I know loads of people that have done escape rooms all around Cardiff, pretty much all of them. And they've told me pretty much everything about them, and I even looked them up online just to see if Puzzle Escape Rooms Cardiff has any competition. And I can tell you, Puzzle Escape Rooms is way up there. When I first walked into the first escape room I ever did with Puzzle Escape Rooms, I was expecting quite little, I'm not gonna lie. As it was my first escape room, I wasn't really expecting much, like realism, detail. I was just in it to just get in and get out. But I'm not gonna lie, at the end of it, I was really surprised. The amount of detail that went in, the amount of realism that it actually felt, and also the puzzles themselves weren't just like quick puzzles. It wasn't just like you open a book, you see a code, you put the code into the lock, and the lock opens. Now, I said that I've played all the escape rooms at Puzzle Escape Rooms Cardiff, and I would say all of them are a complete 10 out of 10. They're completely different to each other, and they all feel really detailed and really realistic and immersive. I mean, you can go in there with a family of 4 and every person in that family would have something to do that would be very important in getting you out and the time limit. Now, what I really enjoyed about them was how fun they really were. I mean, coming from a person that has only played 3 escape rooms in their life, as I said, I wasn't really expecting much for my first one, but I really enjoyed doing my first one, which if you don't know, like the escape rooms that Puzzle Escape Rooms do, my first one was one called Abandoned Ship. Now, I'm not going to go into detail with it because I don't want to spoil it, but you can pretty much guess what it's immersed around because of the title and the picture on top of the screen. But it was really good with making you feel like you were a crew of a ship. Now, as this is a job interview application video and not just a review of Puzzle Escape Rooms, which I would really love to do, to be honest, I can talk about it for hours. I should probably start with why I would enjoy working for them. Now, I could go on for a very long time because I've written a very long list, but I'm only going to pick the first like 3 or 4. And the first one is the staff there that I've met, including the CEO of Puzzles. They're very kind and very caring, and they're not just very kind and caring to me, but they're also really kind and caring to their staff. And the reason for that is they recently have come out with a new escape room as I'm making this video, and the person that I know that works there hasn't like been thrown into the deep end. For example, the CEO hasn't turned around and be like, "Can you invigilate this escape room that's brand new? I know you don't know anything about it, but just go for it. You'll learn it." They weren't like that. They made sure that they got the proper training, the amount of training they need, and they understood every bit of the escape room, which, in my opinion, was really thoughtful and caring. Now, in order to work at puzzle escape rooms in Cardiff, you need to become a good games maker, and I believe I fit that criteria. Again, I can go on the list for more. I made a massive list, but again, I'm only going to pick like the first 2 or 3, only because I don't want this video to be like 3 days long. Because, you know, I do respect that you all have jobs and you need to get on with them. So basically the first one is I'm resilient. You know, I don't give up at all. No matter what task you give to me, I won't give up. The second one is I'm pretty enthusiastic when it comes to, you know, doing stuff that I love. Forget what I mean. But yeah, it's pretty, you know, you give me a task that I really want to do, and I'll keep my head down until the work is finished to the best of my ability. Now, as I said, I'm not going to bore you with a long list, because I do respect, you know, you watching me, you know, do this job application. So I'm not going to bore you. I'm only going to give you the good details. But for anyone that is watching this and doesn't work for Puzzle Escape Rooms Cardiff, and you want to go check it out, as I said, the postcode and the what 3 words are up here if you want to go visit it. If not, you can go on their website. You can have a look at the games that they got on. You can have a look at the staff. You know, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can learn everything about Puzzled on their website. Or if you just want, you can just go pop down and just say hello to the staff. See if there's you know, like a free slot you could play. You know, there's no harm in that. And as I said, the staff are really kind and caring, so they're not just going to shove a hand in your face and say no and walk you out the door. So that is my job application done. Thank you, everyone that is watching, whether you're from Puzzled or not. If you're not, I really recommend you go see it. You know, I'm going to use the old phrase, don't knock it till you try it, because trust me, I knocked it before I tried it, and I 100% regret it. Like, Puzzle Escape Rooms Cardiff is definitely the best first escape rooms place you should try. If you haven't tried any escape rooms, like in the future. If you have, doesn't matter, you can still do it. Just enjoy, you know, which won't be very hard because their escape rooms are very enjoyable. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a very good day, and I hope to hear back from you, Puzzled, very soon.